Welcome to POUSE, out of the house. Today I'm on another ride, still running this bike in. I've got a service on Wednesday next week, and that's for the 600-mile service. We're on about 415 miles we are at the moment. Spoke to the servicing department at POUSE in Bristol, where I bought the bike, and they basically said you're better off going a bit over, say something up to about 660 is fine. They said rather than under. So I'm doing a frantic last attempt to get some miles on this. It's about 8:30 now. It's a Wednesday evening, the week before the service. Beautiful evening, so I thought I've got to try and get out. I've been on a few rides now, been out a few times with Big POUSE. We've had a few issues. First one, Big POUSE had his engine management light come on. I don't know, but his lights have gone back off again, and it seems to be working fine. But either way, when we go and get them serviced next week, they're going to take a look at it for him in the servicing department, see if they can find any previous error codes, work out what was going wrong. Second issue, not an issue, more of a thing, just getting used to the bike. I like riding this thing in mode 2, right? Because that's what they call sport mode or Supermoto mode. Now the first mode is a bit easier for riding around town, granted, but if you want to go out and give it some stick, it's so much more responsive on mode 2, and it does feel really good when it's running well. The only thing that I've started to notice with it, on a throttle, sometimes if you're going at a steady speed, then it sometimes plays up and it suddenly goes a little bit juddery. And it's like it doesn't like it, like it gets a bit, I don't know, if it's too much air, you know, running a bit lean, running too rich, I don't know. But I've had it a few times and it suddenly blips a bit and it's a bit unsettled. Anyway, that's that. Generally speaking, I'm really loving this bike. Look at those flies in my face, flipping heck. Disgusting. I brought some wipes out today. I went out last night, didn't take any wipes, helmet covered, couldn't see a thing. Oh, he was giving it some. So anyway, other thing that I wanted to mention is we've been doing some research on the, I say we, me and Big POUSE, both got the same bike for those of you who haven't seen before, and we're both pretty much doing the same mods. Done a bit of research on YouTube, ringing various companies and whatnot. Now when it comes to tuning this thing up, or not tuning it really, putting it how it should be, to be honest with you, because the Euro 5 restrictions pretty much, from what I've seen, render these things, they don't run right. So we've decided to go for a wings exhaust. We're going to go for a DNA air filter with, I think they call it the plate. So you basically remove the whole airbox, the top of the airbox, you place it in the bottom of the airbox, the existing OEM airbox, and you put the DNA plate over the top of the DNA air filter. We've spoken to a guy in Bristol, I can't think of the name at the moment, but when I go there I will film this so you'll know who he is. He's done Lamb Chop's bike, if any of you watch his channel, and he's done plenty of others. So basically, wings exhaust, DNA air filter, and then they remap it for you. He said that he thinks the wings is like a cheaper alternative really. You get similar results to the Akropovich, I think that's how you pronounce it, but that's about over £1,000. So I don't really want to spend that much, if I'm honest. Seems a bit unnecessary. I mean, 8 of those and it's what I paid for the bike, which seems a bit ridiculous. So now the wings exhaust comes with 2 baffles. It comes with one in it. You've got your quiet one, your louder one, or you can just remove them all together. But from what I understand, again, removing them all together, not really a sensible option because it doesn't really achieve anything. And sometimes, sorry, it's a 20 here again. These speed limits is very hard. That's another criticism of this bike. It's not a criticism of the bike, but it's just what's the word? It's just something the bike does. It's trying to drive at 20 in seconds, quite difficult actually. Anyway, I'm waffling on a bit here. Wings exhaust pretty much is a very good cheap alternative, or cheap, I don't mean cheap and nasty, I mean low cost alternative to the expensive ones. So we're going to go with that. He reckons on the rolling road and mapping it, he's got some basic maps he's done already on some of these things, and then you can either do that for about 300 quid and just map it for us there and then done, and it should be pretty much bang on, but not dialed into our individual bikes, or for an extra £100, that's £400 in total, he can stick it on the rolling road, check that it is all perfect with a good power curve, and if there are any sort of blips in it, he can basically iron those out. So I mean, for 400 quid, I mean that's not really much more than these power commanders and all these things people are buying, which aren't recommended for the Euro 5 anyway. So fingers crossed we should get a decent tune on these, but we've got to get this 600-mile service first. We've got the parts on order, so the next thing to do when they arrive is get those fitted. I will be doing videos on the fit on those, so I can show you how I fit the wings exhaust, DNA air filter, lid, and then we'll get over there and hopefully he'll let me film over there and we can maybe film these being mapped and then we're going to have some videos of the results. So I have been riding in mode 1 just while I've been stuck behind traffic. But what I'm going to do now, and I've heard a lot of people complain about this and say it's an issue. I haven't had any issue with this. Right, you basically hold that in for a few seconds, let go, it flashes, let the throttle off, and it comes on. Now the secret there is letting the throttle off. If you don't let the throttle off, it won't change. So you've got to like not be revving for it to slip over then into the new mode. Now I'm on 2, but straight away then almost caught me out then with one hand. It gets so much more responsive. There, that's where I get a bit concerned with it. It gets quite choppy. I think I was in too high a gear then. You go around the bend and you touch the throttle and it is a little bit choppy. And the brakes are, honestly, they're amazing. You would have heard me before talk about the DRZ. Honestly, I have to say, right, reliability wise, maybe it's better. That thing will probably still be going another 20 years. I've no doubt the electrics will be knackered on this, but performance, the suspension is so good. You just touch the brakes and you're in. Dips the front, round the bend. I love it. God, there's some flies out today again. But it goes so well already, I cannot wait to have it mapped. Because people say when it's mapped, you see these rolling road videos and they reckon they're getting another 10 brake horsepower out of them at sort of mid-range, and added to that, massive amounts of extra torque as well. And I think if you get that, I mean, this thing will be frightening. Now you can't do that on a DRZ, that's for sure. I've actually got my coccyx playing up at the moment. I smashed it on holiday going on the water slide, and it is absolutely killing me. I took some paracetamol to come out on this bike because it's hurting so much. Do you know what? When you whap that throttle on like I just did, you forget all about it for a few seconds, and then you hit a bump and you remember it's here again. I love it. Look at it. Woo! Should I go that way or should I go to Monmouth? I don't know which way to go yet. So we're just in Chepstow now. I don't know whether to chance it, go with the Forest of Dean and get back, or if it'd be too late by then. Ooh, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? A nice pint in the pub. Something I don't do any often anymore. Let's go through Chepstow town centre. Sure you've seen this before, but why not? I used to do this in the earlier videos, didn't I? Drive through a random town so you could have a look. St David's Hospice, more charity shops, tea rooms, Betfred, card shop, WH Smith, don't see many of those anymore, boots, oh, coccyx, woof, bike's getting hot as well, the exhaust, I can feel the heat coming off it on my legs. Chepstow Museum, there's the castle, there's the River Wye at, I would say, probably mid-tide. Oh, my coccyx, sorry, look, I'll just show you that castle next to the river, look at that. You can see why they built them there, can't you? What a lovely vantage point. Coleford, yeah, let's go to Coleford then. We'll do a nice round trip, I think. Beautiful sunset, just missed it over there. So, having thought I was a bit lost, I've now made it to Coleford. And I tell you what, in stock form, it's bloody economical. On the last tank I did a good amount of mileage. I'm going to have to monitor it, and maybe that's something else I can document on the channel as well, just for people who are interested. Is how economical is it? So I need to go left to Monmouth. Ah, right, I know exactly where we are now. Bit too late to go to Gloucester. I mean, this is what, for me, these bikes are all about as well. These roads I've been on today, I'm very lucky near where I live. You can do a sort of 50-60 mile trip, and with that you could either get up to Brecon, or in this direction, you know, you can get up to the Forest of Dean, windy roads, Chepstow. You go through lovely little villages, past a couple of castles. That is what it's all about, you know. And these bikes are just perfect for that, because they like windy roads. They're fast, so you know. Oh, I can smell a bit of the old marijuana just went past me then. Got flies all over my helmet, and I'm a bit twitchy about what I can see. I make that mistake sometimes of gliding into the bend in too high a gear. This bike wants lower, just does. Get it down, like, obviously I don't know what's around the bend here. So you know, if you can, and you're comfortable with there's nothing around the corner, then get that front brake on, go hard. But you have got to be a bit careful, because you always get dickheads around this time of night in cars that could be on the wrong side of the road. And as I've said before, I want to make it home in one piece tonight, so this is where it gets a bit hairy here now, because the roads, as you can see, have massive holes in them, and you often get big lorries driving up here as well. And it goes very dark, as you can see now. I bet the GoPro looks awful. Oh, coccyx! So here we are. Earlier on we were in Chepstow, that was downstream here on the River Wye, and now we're in Monmouth. And basically, if you follow that river down in a canoe, in a few miles you'll be back down in Chepstow, where you saw me by the castle earlier. Now you would honestly think, with the way my helmet is getting hit, that it's raining, and it is not. It just flies. I can barely see it in my visor, so I'm going to have to stop in a minute and give that a clean. Oh, I've got a fly on the helmet now in my eye. Wonderful. And it stinks of cow poo, and it is rapidly getting darker. Beautiful red sky over there. Off camera I just had a squirrel almost take me off the bike. It's just that time of night, I think. It's getting dark. There's bits of muck on the road from the farmers, and I feel something bad's going to happen if I keep going too hard. So as you can probably see on the GoPro now, when you get down in the little dips and you're out of the sunlight, it's getting dark, so I think I'm going to knock this video on the head in a second. It is June, so we're almost on the longest day of the year. Oh, this bike is so much fun though. So much fun. I can barely see a thing around here. I don't know what this GoPro looks like in this darkness. Like that, we are back in Usk, so I am definitely going to knock it on the head here. It's getting way too dark. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Just a quick blip, a bit of chat about the bike. Hopefully we'll have many more. Now, if you are interested in any of the sort of mods that I've done or upgrades, like my tail tidy, my skids plate, my crash pads, I've done installation videos on all of those, like detailed videos. So go through my videos, have a look if you're interested in those. If you're interested in the DRZ, there's a few videos on those. I've still got the DRZ, so there's a few more videos to put out on that. You know, maintenance, things like that. I've got a Grom as well, I've said before. I've only ridden that a couple of times, but I'm hoping to do a few videos on that, to be honest with you, when I can. But other than that, basically, thanks for watching. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel and press that bell icon for regular notifications. I've been POUSE out of the house. Ta-ta, farewell.